Yep.
Alright.
Alright, everybody, we're back, and I've got a guest with us. But first, I want you to hear this tune.
Color in your cheeks. Do you ever get that feel that you can't shift, the type that sticks around like summer Tennessee? Are there some aces up your sleeve? Have you no idea that you're in deep? I dreamt about you nearly every night this week. How many secrets can you keep? There's this tune I found that makes me think of you somehow, and I play it on repeat until I fall asleep, spilling drinks on my...
What do you think of that song, man?
No, it's a pretty good song, though.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Alright, everybody, I welcome everybody back to Diametric Opposition here on the Right Side Media Network. We've got our guest, Mr. Pink. He was there at the rally over the weekend for Tyler Paxson, and wanted to call in and maybe say a few words about Lima, Ohio, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think we didn't really have very many opposition when we got there. We got a lot of honks, although people were constantly yelling at us to get a job from a moving vehicle. Actually, it was one person, and then somebody told me I was number one with their finger.
Yeah. I mean, I got a little bit of it. Me and one guy in a white truck. We were talking. He said, "What are you doing out here?" And I told him what we were there for. And he says, "You need to get out of here." And he's dropping F-bombs and everything else. It was a classy place.
Well, people educated in the public school industry usually drop four-letter expletives because they can't count to a letter higher than that.
Yeah, and that demographic was represented.
That was a really bad demographic.
Yeah, and it was weird because there was a huge contrast. You know, some people were like, yeah, they were cheering us on, and some people were, yelling at us, and I'd say the majority were probably cheering us on, but, yeah, I was a bit...
I think it was the people who were cheering us on were the people who have also been accosted by this police department.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's kind of a small town. I did a little bit of research, into the town upon returning and reading some of these ignorant and heinous statements that people were sitting there saying. And it's like, if you turned 30 seconds of your time and attention and actually tried to understand what was being said in the news article, you wouldn't be making these horrendous asses of yourselves. I mean,
I would be embarrassed. I really would. I would be ashamed.
Yeah.
To be part of that.
I go back to that. It's better to appear a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Yeah, they really were quite disappointing. In my initial message that I sent to the people of Lima, in the limaohio.com, I said thank you for everybody that had us. You guys were great, because the Patriots out there were freaking wonderful.
Oh yeah, well, not just the Patriots, the people who were interacting with us. I mean, it was a very small percentage of people who were outraged by us there.
Absolutely. Absolutely, but
it was mostly people just driving by and honking their horns and waving in support.
Yeah, there was quite a bit, and that's why I think we were so surprised to see so many haters concentrated in one place at that limaohio.com. But then I thought about it, and that's really their only major publication. and we're the biggest news they've had since who knows when. So I guess that made us easy targets for their ridiculousness.
Yeah, I was carrying a sign on Saturday that said "Hate has no face," and I got some of the most dirty looks I've ever encountered. And it was mostly from the older demographic, and people who have been force-fed that whole, oh, well, trust your government because they would never do you wrong, but it's like, you should look into it. This is just the tipping bird. I mean, they're trying to hide the U.S. debt. That's why they're trying to get rid of Social Security. They don't want them to know that, they don't want the older people to know who are supposed to be receiving it, to be like, hey, where's our money? And then be like, well, see what happened was we got a Ponzi scheme going.
Yeah. You do see a lot of the inundated masses. But I tell you what, and I said this earlier, I don't even care if they're a voice of dissension against me. It's nice to see the strength.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate them getting pissed off because they're exercising their right.
Yeah, that was nice to see. It was, even though it was a bit, from the uneducated, part of town where they were, it was like basically a bunch of older white men and some of their wives yelling at us, and it was, and I told them, I said, their antiquated hate will freaking leave this earth with them.
Well, they should remember that before they put their name to anything, that Lima Police Department is a public entity, which means that they have to keep public records of who they have employed there.
Yep.
Which means we could sit there and go through all of that and then just continue to equate it back to them. And I mean, like I told that one gentleman, I'd be going in, I would be having his lien. I mean, his bond lien, it's just...
Yeah, and I think they fear that. I think they fear people that really understand not just what this country is and what it means, but how to implement its laws, its rules, its constitution. People that are educated and capable of critical thinking are a danger to the ruling class, and they damn well know it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just the very word Constitution should speak for itself. I mean, Constitution, it means how much you can withstand, It's how tough you are, and it's supposed to be a very ironclad thing. And these cops come in and out, and they're thinking that, oh, yeah, well, this Constitution is just a piece of paper. What I'm going to do is what I want, and if you don't like it, well, then you can have my buddies investigate me for it.
Yeah, and see if I did any wrong.
Yeah. Don't worry, we didn't find any wrong.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts here before I have Brian Lang call back?
Oh, I don't really have much to say. I just wanted to call in and say thanks to everybody who came out, and thanks to everybody who invited me to go out to it. I mean, it was a wonderful event, and I think we need to have more.
Excellent, man. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. We'll be out there again. We'll ruffle more feathers. We'll bring more people into our fold, and then we'll see what kind of change we can affect, man. I appreciate you calling in.
All right, anytime, man.
All right, bro.
All right.
That was Mr. Pink. Matthew Pinkerton. He was at the rally there with us. He's part of Unite Ohio. He's part of Anonymous. We all work together, and he's a big part of what we do. We got to have folks and that's what we do. Everybody has their aptitude towards something, and then they just bring their aptitude to the table as part of what everybody else is doing, and they all of us kind of have an aptitude for whatever, so we just put them all together, and man, we couldn't do it without you, Pink. Well done. We got, I was reading to you guys earlier, it's on my Facebook if you want to check it out. It says, what does someone say to people that have them outmatched in so many ways to bring some kind of unity or understanding? There was a reply that says, I am heartbroken for the kids that will have to deal with this in their future if we do not take a stand. I am fueled with lots of anger and hatred for what I have been put through in these last couple of years from a corrupted system. I have no problem with watering the tree of liberty with tyrants' fluids. With that being said, I am one of many one of many 3%ers that is willing to shed blood for family, friends, God, and country. I absolutely refuse to look my kids and grandkids in the eyes and tell them that I chose to live on my knees. I will be shrouded in a pile of brass before that will ever happen. I love the fact that we have people like you and your family and friends that will go out and protest and stand your ground for what is right, but my heart tells me that we are beyond fighting with words. I stay off the streets with my protest for 2 reasons. The first is the corrupted are always looking to cage me, and cage all of us. And the second reason would be, once I am caged, I will no longer be able to protect anyone, and we are heading into some really bad times. And in no way am I a criminal, but the corrupted have labeled me as one for now. I take in a lot of knowledge 7 days a week, and I distribute a lot of knowledge 7 days a week as well to the awakened. I will continue to wake others in the process in my own ways. That is all I can do for now. Don't give up the fight. Stay locked and loaded, and know that I've got your 6 if a call to arms is made. God bless. Godspeed. And I tell you what, you know what? Who else feels that way? Who else feels like what that gentleman explained? Is he the only one? Is he? Is he the only one that feels that way? Is he the only one that thinks that we're beyond words, we're beyond protest, we're beyond rallies? Are you so angry that you're ready and willing to shed the blood of tyrants and patriots if you have to? Meaning yourself. I don't think he's alone for a second. I felt that way since I was in my early teens. I was looking around and not going to school and was thinking, man, I don't think we can get this back to good. And if we can, I don't know how. I'm not smart enough. I think many people are waiting for a call to arms. I think many people are they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, aren't they? Aren't all of us? Let me read something here, see if I can get through part of it before I get another phone call. How can I make a difference? An activist is anyone who asks the questions about a public issue that has the courage to act on the basis of a tentative answer and revises action in response to experience. You want me to read that again? How can I make a difference? An activist is anyone who asks that question about a public issue, has the courage to act on the basis of a tentative answer, and revises action in response to experience. Activists often begin with a sense of anger at injustice, at discrimination, at the needless destruction of nature, at the triumph of greed over generosity. But anger and outrage alone can produce frustration and insensitivity to other activists, followed by exhaustion and burnout. A passionate intensity, to be effective, has to be channeled into a long-term commitment. Anyone serious about social change has to be determined and patient. In his autobiography, The Long Haul, Miles Horton, the radical founder of the Highland Folk School, describes how during the 1930s he learned to harness his anger. And this is interesting. I had to learn that my anger didn't communicate to people what I wanted to communicate. I had to turn my anger into a slow burning fire instead of a consuming fire. You don't want the fire to go out. You never let it go out. And if it gets weak, you stoke it. But you don't want it to burn you up. It keeps you going, but you subdue it, because you don't want to be destroyed by it. I started saying, Horton, get yourself together. Get ready for the long haul, and try to determine how you can live out this thing and make your life useful. What do we think about that? What do our little noodles believe about that? Oh, and Mr. Pink is also part of the 3% Patriots. I knew that. I totally knew that. Totally forgot, but I totally knew that. Sorry. And yes, Miss C. Gypsy and Joe Axe are absolutely right. It seems as though the police try to always make up an excuse of how or why their victim deserved to get compound skull fractures and things. I mean, it's really out of control. Crazy. Did you guys hear that commercial for Sassy Chick's new and rustic trading post? I've been trying to think of a way to do my own commercial for it. I even got a commercial voice together. Sassy Chick's new and rustic trading post. Now, with a rustic men's department. If you thought trading posts were things of the past, you were wrong! Because we got one here in Ohio. Good old Ohio. Yeah, we got weird history in this state, we really do. Old money, old problems. A lot of strangeness. I was reading about old Prescott Bush and Buckeye Steel and how they frivolously handled that place. Now, if you guys want to check out the Sassy Chick's new and rustic trading post, go to 46305 Telegraph Road. 46305 Telegraph Road. That's in Amherst, Ohio. If you're not around the area, just give them a call. 440-986-7277. If you are in that area, what I need you to do is go in there, tell them that the right side sent you in there, and they're going to give you a free gift. Then I need you to come back, get on right side, and tell us what they give you, what they gave you there, because my curiosity has been killing me. So, oh, thank you, Joe. I'll have to get together with you on that. I'm not even going to mess with it right now. I'm still waking up, believe it or not. Trying to. Whoa, Prescott Bush is buried about 200 yards from Joe. That's crazy. Yeah, me and my buddy Damon Zex, we were going to go out there and hold some kind of magic ritual to try to make the Bushes mad. Mr. Pinkerton, you're freaking hilarious, dude. You guys, man, that dude's so funny. Too funny. But it's like late night comedy funny. Most of the humor that that I do is like that as well. I really have to tone it down on Right Side Media because I'm guilty. I speak like a sailor at times. Look, man, I'm just a freaking normal guy. Seriously, I'm just a dude that's talking. That's it, you know. That's why I don't give my name a whole lot, because it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter what the hell my name is. My name is Biff. See? Doesn't matter. If I can implore you also to look into the Activist's Almanac. They have Secular Trends and Social Reform. I was saying earlier, this is like a book on sociological study. It's wonderful. Making Sense of the New Social Movements. The Small-Time Philanthropist and Checkbook Activism. Non-profit structures. 501c3, 501c4. Political action committees. Why third parties don't work, why advocacy organizations do. So all kinds of really good stuff in here. Working for change, socially responsible investing and consuming. Larry, I cannot thank you enough for this book. So yeah, check that out. The Activist's Almanac, The Concerned Citizen's Guide to the Leading Advocacy Organizations in America by David Walls. W-A-L-L-S. Check it out! It is good for you. So who here thinks that Muslims are taking over America? Who wants to talk about weed? Who wants to talk about aliens? Let's talk about all the things we're not supposed to. What are you going to live forever? Let's get to talking, people. Let's just talk. As long as we're talking, we'll be okay. It's one of my theories. I also like to tell people and remind you that you're not losing your country. You're not. It's okay. You're not losing it. You lost it. It's gone. Okay? It seems like it's still here because you can go to McDonald's, but no. That is a nasty deception. Man, I wish those people from Lima would get the hell on here. I really do. You know, I've been held accountable for everything I've ever done, every stupid thought I've ever had. As soon as I have it, I stub my toe because karma loves me. You know, and I hold myself to that standard. I'm held accountable, and I hold myself accountable for the things I say and the things that I do, and I raise my child that way, and I carry myself that way as a man. That's why I try not to be disrespectful to people, but make no mistake, if you are dumb enough, if you are shabby enough to make public statements the way that those people have from limaohio.com, I will own you. If you put yourself out there in a ridiculous way like that, I know too many people, too many women with incredible minds and incredible articulation that would just burn you, but you're so far down the chain. I didn't even invite them into the conversation because you're too petty for them. You know, you have to deal with me. You know, you can't mess with those ladies because they're way out of your league. But make no mistake, you've caught their attention. You know, you have made asses out of yourselves in front of a lot of people. Now they know your names. And we will call you out on that. I do love the unity speech. I love to be able to talk about our strength, you know, because it's tangible. But because I've been held accountable for every stupid thought and everything I've ever done, and I believe that's a great way to live, well, yeah, I'm going to hold those around me accountable as well. How dare you say the things that you said? Unbelievable. So then I try to, I gave them all, and when I gave them the invitations, I wasn't even mean about it. You know, I was still polite about that. I may have burned their asses a little bit, but I was still polite when hey, you know, look, and I just dropped it. I just dropped everything, the whole argument. I said, look, here's the invitation, because it's going to be easier to sit there instead of typing and da-da-da-da. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. I can give you the forum to do so. You know? Show everybody this isn't about self-importance. Show everybody that this has to do, that you can stand on what you say. You know, this is a way of reaffirming adulthood. Not just to ourselves, but our peers. When you don't do that, you rob yourselves and everybody else the opportunity to take part in that. That's why it's so shabby. You know, you were what? You were just mouthy. That's it. You're mouthy. At least I'm trying to engage. At least I'm trying to engage with you. At least I'm trying to get you to understand that our unity can even come off of the cusp of our disagreements. That we can rely on we don't have to rely on our lesser reptilian brains. That we can choose to at least try. And it may take some skill, but we can at least try to be better than that. I mean, why not? We're here. It's not our grandparents and all the baggage people try to give us. Well, this is what your granddaddy did, and you were at war with Well, yeah. All those people went to war with all of those people, and guess what? It doesn't have a damn thing to do with me. Nothing. Or my child. How about we realize that it's us here now? And buy into the what if. What if? What if time has called on you and you do nothing, you still have made a choice. And I don't think most people have thought it long and hard enough to understand all of the implications of that choice. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm just one highly uneducated dude, you know? Low level of education. Not trying to be somebody I'm not. I didn't go to school to be able to speak to you here today. I don't have any training. I don't have any of that type of stuff. You know, that's not what you're gonna find here. You're not gonna find the intellectuals that want to go into all the statistics and all of the laws and all the revised code and all of this. I like to repeat what smart people say. You know, I try to stay away from the stupid jargon. You know, the protesters were saying, "How about this? Go get a job." You know, well, again, I mean, that's just proof that you refuse to think for yourself. That's exactly the same line as if you don't vote, you don't get say. You know, it's empty, it's lifeless, it's meaningless. You spoke out of your own self-importance. We're moving beyond you. We're moving past you. You do not have to be so shabby. You can join something bigger and better than all of us. It's bigger than any of us will ever be. You know, and all you have to do is get past your own self-importance. And we can disagree. We can disagree all day long. That's fine. Allow us to disagree then. Not a problem. But there's no sense in us acting like we have to buy into a dead man's baggage. There's no sense in us in realizing anything other than this is our lives, damn it. This is my life. How am I going to live it? I'm not going to live it by other people's cliches and other people's subjecting their judgment for my own. Screw that. That's lazy. I'm not doing that. What do you guys think of this song here? Is this good music for the revolution? Revolutionary music to me. I want you guys to know I greatly appreciate you listening to me today. I'm going to take a little break. Go get yourself a smoke and a pancake. And when we come back, if we're not with Live Truth Radio, I'm going to see about getting one of our sovereign citizens on here. And I guess that's an oxymoron, as explained to me. You're either sovereign or you're a citizen. Maybe we'll get into a little bit of that explanation. And it's the way that wordplay happens. It's how the ruling class gets us. guys are listening to the Right Side Media Network, and this is Diametric Opposition. We'll be back here in a minute.